So today is a day of truth and reconciliation in Canada. Every year in the last while, we've honored, this day to think about Canada's ugly past and to learn not only the horrific things that went on for decades and decades, but to also learn from elders and the original cultures that we now the land that we now reside on. And I've been working in a school the last year, and it's been really eye opening, especially working with younger kids in junior high, which I think is a time where they learn a lot of more kind of deeper, significant things in like a social studies class than they would have in elementary school. And I hadn't been in a school for 20 years, and so it's really I'm learning along with them, and in a way learning what they're learning. And it's not a critique on what's being taught or anything like that, but just the thing I've observed in a lot of ways, even even earlier this month with 9/11, is that kids I don't know if they necessarily know that much about historical things. Many of them might not, it might not just be in their interests to learn or know. So at school, it's very much the first time learning a lot of this stuff. And for me, man, I can't help but think back to when I was little and didn't think about any of this stuff either. But now here I am in a blink of an eye, 20, 23 years after, 9/11, thinking, man, that's like a clear and present event in my life. And these kids around me are looking at it like ancient history, like World War II, like I would have looked at World War II or even the Cold War. And I guess, perspective as you get older, it really does become more significant to you as you ponder, life and just the ways of how humanity has progressed. And I guess all that to say, this week has been this year. I guess last year it started with my first year in school during this Truth and Reconciliation Week, and but this past week, our school had our junior high kids out in the yard with the neighboring elementary kids, and we all gathered around some elders, and we were able to learn some things. There's some cookums, grandmas that were able to talk about some of the things that went on, and regarding residential schools, and the really hitting close. I hope for some of the kids to know, the one elder talking about, her, being a part of that, 60s scoop, and basically kids, I honestly don't even think they know what that is, and it's too much maybe in one day to know, but there's definitely some seed planting where I think when these kids get older, they're going to spend some time thinking about some of these things they learned. And that's what I took away. This was the first time that our school, our junior high school, got together with the younger kids outside. They did a teepee raising. They talked about the significance of all the poles and the teepee, representing woman. There's so much symbolism and significance to every single thing that these cultures do, and the drumming, they started with some drumming and smudging, and I think, as I grew up, and I think a lot of white kids in Canada grew up, this stuff was so foreign and in some ways even considered evil, which is you know grossly prejudiced and very, very like ignorant. I don't know if there was malicious intent for a lot of people that would be teaching that stuff as I grew up in a church, but just ignorance. And I think the easy thing to say is I don't understand something, and there's some smoke and drumming and voices that I don't understand, so that must be evil. And that's what I'm coming out of, and I know a lot of people maybe are still in that. So this day where we got together was in itself, just a few hours. Kids got to go into the teepee and ask questions. But to me, in the bigger picture, this was a monumental, a powerful. Because when I was young, they never would have had anyone like that being able to share in the school. And to have that happen now is very, very powerful, because it's going to continue, and it's going to get more and more ingrained in these kids' minds about the significance of the past and the significance of these cultures. And I bring that back to just where I live, where we live on a really nice piece of land, and I find it fascinating to learn more about the land, our connection with it, with the trees, sacredness. I'm definitely seeing a lot of truth to that in my life, as far as bringing peace and kind of like a symmetry. I feel like our culture goes against nature in so many ways, literally just pushing it aside and smoothing it out. And I think that it impacts our hearts and our minds, whether it's subconsciously or not. But as you get older, you definitely are, thinking about simpler things and how everything ties together, how we're all connected, how we're not that different from each other. Is when you're little, you see differences and they scare you, because it's new. And as you get older, you start to really see that we're all connected. I guess moving forward for me, like, I really want to honor the land that we're on. I want to share it for the time that we have it. And I definitely really am excited to learn more about the land's history and the people that are here, and to hear their voices being heard now is again a huge shift in my life, coming into in elementary school and junior high school, not knowing any of this stuff. And so I think we're headed in the right direction. But again, these kids, they like sports, they like video games. I think the patience that we can have to just kind of, plant those seeds in their hearts and minds about, significant things, and how that impacts, maybe the way we treat our friends at school, or the people at school that are different from us. And hopefully there's a lot more kindness and a lot more being able to listen to other people's opinions and thoughts and points of view, and being able to move forward together. But those are my thoughts for this day. It's just one of reflection, and I'm interested in learning more from the indigenous peoples of this land, and I'm super excited that they have a voice, that they're getting a voice to be able to share with us in the school. And I'm working there, but I'm also just a student, sneakily in a way, to just be able to learn, and also learn how to just kind of build bridges between the students and among the students, and to be able to just walk with them forward. So I guess that's just a point to say is it was a powerful time last week, and I'm just looking forward to the conversations, helping these kids move forward with a better understanding of Canada, and moving forward in a more of out of more darkness into more light.